paper. Newspaper was like stuffed in here, like because I didn't cut the articles out.
Oh, you just jammed them in there?
I just at a point, I just got bored like with it, and I just fucking dude. This thing is from 1987. I started doing this.
That's when you got on, because you were on 26 years, 2013.
Yeah.
So I have, what do you call it? I found downstairs. So when I was a kid, I kept all my action figures when I was a little kid.
Oh, shit.
Star Wars, G.I. Joe, I kept them all. But I also still have the newspapers the day after 9/11 took place. All of them. I have tons of them all wrapped up. They're down in my basement. I forgot I had them.
But I had saved some things too. If you look through here, you'll see.
Yeah, but that is so cool.
See, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So I got when they won Super Bowls
back in the 90s.
Yes.
So
there's so many fucking cool things in here. I was looking through. I'm like, oh my god, there's like so fucking wild.
No, but see, people don't have this stuff anymore. Everything's backed up digitally.
Yeah.
So when shit goes down, you lose everything. Yeah. My brother, they had when the floods hit. He was in Westerly, and their basement flooded. Baby pictures, wedding albums, everything got destroyed. Everything got destroyed. So. Well,
that's when I lived in Bristol when we had those floods, right? We had I had little notebooks that I kept when I worked, and I kept just throwing them in a box. I had a ton of them.
What did you write down? Not doodles, like was it just notes on like suspects and shit?
Calls, suspects, fucking everything, man. It got destroyed.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, it does.
I bought a couple of
guys used to bust my balls.
Because you saved everything?
I saved them all. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what though?
But then I had a friend of mine. He goes, Louie, that was the coolest thing. You still got those books?
Thank you, because at the time it doesn't seem like a big deal, but as you get older, you want to remember these things. You have these funny stories. Yeah. That's awesome to have.
Yeah.
Now, see, I have. If you want, I actually bought a couple of Baofeng CB radios, ham radios, so you can listen. They're police scanners too. Yep. So what we should do is at some point, you and I should just do an episode where we sit around, get bombed, and then listen to police scanners and skin comb through the old books. So. Folks, this is episode 3.
Shit, we're recording.
Yeah, no, I like to not tell people because it's organic. So this is Louie Stravato 2.0, the remix. Gin down, brother. Good to see you. That tastes a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Yum, tequila.
So you have the...
Milagro Clear, the Blanco.
Blanco.
Yes.
La Flama Blanca is my Mexican porn name. I mixed the 1800 coconut with the reposado.
Right.
Yeah.
You did.
It's not bad.
Okay.
So now that I know you actually had COVID, let's get the COVID going. I want to find out. I already know, but tell everybody what it was like, how it started, and kind of how that progressed.
Now that people that didn't know I have it, know I have it.
And now they're all going to lose their shit.
Oh my God, oh God, oh whatever. But I stayed away from them. I just stayed away, like my family, my sister.
No, and you were straight up with me too, because you were going to come here last week.
I was supposed to come here last week, and I said no. I was like on that borderline at that point.
It was
it all happened. Like I don't know how I got it. I really don't. I don't.
Could be grocery shopping. Who knows?
It could have been anything, right? But all of a sudden, it was like New Year's Day. I woke up so congested. But that's not a normal.
Especially around here.
It's not a normal for me. Look at the size of this fucking nose.
Bro.
All right.
Preaching. I could smoke a cigarette in the rain.
I got a funny story about that. Anyways, I woke up and my girls were like, "You all right?" I said, "I don't know. I just fucking really congested. And then I think it was more like the next day. Like I ended up taking a Sudafed and stuff, and I was feeling better in the afternoon, and I thought I was feeling better, but the next morning, I'm like, I can't smell it. My coffee don't taste right. It tastes like just water.
This is like nothing.
Nothing, and then I started I opened up a bag of onions, and I coffee grounds, and this and that.
Went into the neighbor's hamper. Nothing worked.
Her underwear smelled like nothing. I didn't get it. I didn't understand.
Oh my God!
I didn't understand. I didn't get it. So,
this is so not normal.
Bullshit. Anyways, so I ended up then I'm like, now I'm trying to taste things. I'm like,
just nothing.
So the smell tastes fine. So I called up my doctor. My doctor's Todd Visione, and he's a good friend of mine. And he's like, Lou, just, you're in great shape. He goes, are those your only symptoms? How's your breathing? I said, I'm fine. And I go, and I actually, and this was a couple of days later, I said, I've actually been working out too. I've been working out. I've been doing a high intensity.
Sweat, get the germs out.
I've been doing a high intensity workout. And he goes, that's fine. He goes, as long as your breathing's fine, that's fine.
That's the big thing, the concern with the breathing.
Yeah. And he said, look, if you have any issues, call me up. And we'll I'll get you on a medicine to help you.
Yeah.
I go, okay, God, thank you. And so I just quarantined myself. It's
how long does
the right thing to do?
No, absolutely.
It's the right fucking thing to do.
So, I was very nervous about bringing something into the house because, my brother's crashing with us right now, but he's diabetic. He's been diabetic for 40 years. So they had this whole thing, they were part of the population. They were susceptible. I'm not saying the right word. So I kept hearing it, but I'm like, I don't really understand what it is about diabetics that makes them more prone or COVID is more dangerous for them. Right. So Brianna and I looked it up on the CDC website.
What was the reason?
If you lose your sense of smell or taste, it could affect your appetite, which could affect your blood sugar. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I ate everything.
All these coulds? I
still ate everything.
Yeah, so you can't taste it. That means you could eat shitty food and you'd never know the difference. That's the time to clear out the fridge. How old are these condiments?
Stop. I went on fucking TikTok to look for fucking remedies on how to cure it.
You were on TikTok.
I went on TikTok because somebody said go on TikTok. There's remedies. And there's one where you take an orange and you burn it, right, the outside of it, and then you shave it all off, all the skin off, right, and then you take the orange itself and throw it in with a couple of brown sugar, and you muddle it up, and then you drink it down, right?
Louie, I'm going to tell you right now, that's the same thing I did when I had genital warts. It didn't work.
Didn't work, no.
Nope. Bled like a motherfucker.
But in the meantime, while I'm looking it up, I see all these freaking things where people were going, mixing stuff together because it couldn't taste. It was like shit. They were taking mayonnaise and mustard and hot sauce and this.
Just all this.
Just drinking it down
because you can't taste anything.
You can't taste it.
How long did it last?
It lasted 8 days.
It's like a sinus infection almost.
Exactly. It was on the 8th day. I told you earlier, it was on the 8th day. My girlfriend stopped out and she's like, she was checking on me and she's like, and she had perfume on and I go, you have perfume on?
She goes,
you can smell it? I go, yes. And she was all excited. I was all excited.
You got to be afraid because some people say this because it lasts 3 months, 6 months.
My doctor was telling me he had it in the past, and he said his lasted a while.
Oh, he caught it too?
Yeah. So he lasted a while.
You know what kills me is...
So he's like, he goes, Louie, because he likes to smoke cigars.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes, I can't even taste a fucking cigar. And I go, how sad is that?
That sucks.
And
I'm glad you're better. I'm glad. And thank you.
I'm glad I'm good too. Yeah.
Well, and then you canceled last week, but I appreciate it. Thank you. So he's not heartless like all the comments said last time, you assholes. So, listen, this time, I know we barely scratched the surface of Louie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the floor, my man. I want to hear some horror stories from law enforcement. I want to hear dumb criminal stories. How many people did you catch fucking at truck stops or rest stops? Because you worked in Providence. Don't say you didn't catch crackheads. I want it all. I want all the juice.
Oh my God, I just don't even know where to begin.
So why don't you...
All right, stop a minute. Quick story, because we're talking about big noses earlier. Right?
Yes.
And so, quick funny story.
We have to keep the chairs so far apart from each other.
We'll be like this pecking.
Two mating owls.
So, one of my closest, dearest friends and old partner, Anthony Hampton, 5'6", black, funny as fuck. Right?
I think you mentioned him last time.
I did. I'm sure I did. And in the car with us at the time was David Scavulli, and we were partnered up for some reason that day.
Scavulli was the guy who was driving when you guys worked with the FBI, right? Wasn't he one of the guys? Yeah, I remember.
Yes,
yep.
Yes. That's the dad.
Oh, it is?
This is his son.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about his son, Junior. Right. Okay? So we were driving together, and all of a sudden, I always drove. I didn't let Tony Hampton drive.
I hate being a passenger.
He was a terrible driver. And, plus he needed his naps. So anyway,
speaking of blood sugar.
So we're driving, so he's like, me me and David are like, Tony, what's up? What's the matter? What's you? He goes, hold on, open the windows. Open the window. I go, for what? What's the matter?
Do you have a panic attack?
He goes, you two are sucking all the air out of the car. I go, you motherfucker. I said, you can go fuck yourself.
Listen, there are people like you and I who, like, I'm a Leo. What month are you born?
I'm a Scorpio.
All right. So there are certain people who I think take control of a room when they walk in, but then there's guys like you and me who we belong taking control of the room. We could be charismatic, we could be serious, we could be funny, we could be really anything. I consider guys like you and I like chameleons. So I get it. I catch shit all the time. That's why I like host the holidays at my house. I like to own. I want to control the environment.
That's who I am. I like to control the environment. And people know that about me.
Yeah,
and anybody who knows me knows that about me. Like, I need to be in control. I need to run the show, and I need
But that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
No, there are some people that are just natural leaders,
right?
And I think that's a good thing. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I like to think I'm a leader. I like to think I'm more like I'm a strong Type A personality.
Well, you have to be to do what you did.
It's funny when Mike and I did the Amazing Race. I don't know if I talked about this last time.
Yeah, I think you wanted to go more into it this time.
Yeah, he goes, I want to drive. I said, knock yourself the fuck out. I'm not going to fight him about driving.
No.
You want to drive?
Yeah.
You know? And it wasn't until we were in the Seychelles Islands when it was an ox wagon, right, that we had to drive. He's like, you can drive that.
I want no part of this.
I'm like, all right, okay. So, but we knew how, Mike and I were both Type A's, but we knew how to exchange it. We knew how to, work off of each other.
You knew if somebody was down, how to pick the other one up when it was time to relinquish that power.
He helped me big time at times because, I was a powerlifter at the time. And if you know about powerlifting, and if you only train powerlifting and nothing else, your cardio is fucking awful.
Yeah, it is.
You have no cardio.
Your muscles use far too much oxygen.
Yeah. Way too much oxygen. Mm-hmm. So it's like, so my oxygen blew at times, and Mike he pushed me, man. He goes, come on, Louie, and he always was there. If you watched the show, he was a huge part of me doing and finishing and completing things at times.
Yeah, well, we're not built for endurance, guys, like you and I. We're not.
I am now more than ever.
Well, because of the type, but how much have you changed the way you work out? You know what I mean?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
What do you weigh now compared to what you were when you were powerlifting?
All right, so I average right now between 200 and 210. At the time, I weighed between 230 and 240.
No shit.
Yeah.
I weighed 213 last weekend.
Yeah.
So I said to Brown, I'm like, I got to go get recircumcised. I'm like, I am way too heavy. It's terrible.
I got to go chop some skin off. Excuse me.
No one told me it would grow back.
Oh, man. But I just, I changed my lifestyle after the Amazing Race. I changed up the way I trained and stuff.
Because of how you were adapting to the different exertion stuff?
Yeah, the exertions are I had camera guys and sound guys saying to me, Louie, is this how you want to live your life? You got a family, and my kids were, relatively young at the same time, and I'm like, I want to be around for my family,
Yeah, you want to be flexible, agile.
And that's when I started the whole boxing thing. It's just changed up my lifestyle, and it became a part of me. And now it identifies me in certain ways, in certain genres and circles.
So a lot of me, when you're a kid and you first start working out, if that's the path you go down, you're always enamored by these huge guys. Nobody had a clue how dirty bodybuilding was or the amount of drugs that a lot of these guys take. And I'm not knocking them for it. It's a career for them. God bless you. But we all have that. You want to just get bigger at all costs. It doesn't make a difference. But then, am I wrong? Like I'm 42 now, and I notice the older I get, I don't want to get bigger. I want to just look and feel good.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear shit crack when I get out of bed. I don't want to have a hard time bending over to tie my shoes. That's how I'm at right now.
When I look in a mirror right now, I'm like,
you look fantastic.
I'm 58 years old.
You got a nice V taper. Your shoulders look good. You got good muscle definition for 58 years old. Is that Siri?
No, it's Google.
Oh.
She's fucking listening to us, that fucking bull.
That's Zuckerberg.
I hate one of the
damn Nazi.
Fucking, Big brother.
I was trying one day. We were grocery shopping like 2 years ago. I picked up Brianna had Siri because I always have Galaxy. She likes the iPhone.
I do too. I love Galaxy too.
I picked up her phone. I said, Siri, why don't you go fuck yourself? And she goes, hey, knock that off. I go, oh my God. I'm like, she's programmed to respond to this stuff.
Go, wait. Next time you're in your car, right? They go, just say knock, knock. Okay, Google, knock, knock. She just heard me.
Oh, she's responding?
Jokes. Want me to tell one to you?
Yes, tell us one.
Tell us a knock joke.
Can you say that again in a different way?
Go ahead.
Knock, knock.
I love knock jokes. Want me to tell one to you?
Yes, please.
Okay, you must not want a joke today. We can try again later.
See, you don't listen. You're like every other typical woman. You don't fucking listen. Your mama. Okay, Google, your mama.
Yo mama's so cute. Puppies watch YouTube videos of her.
Dude, the first time I was so pissed off and I was in the car and I like, you fucking go, you're not fucking listening to me, right? I go, your fucking mama. And
it comes back with something.
I started laughing. People must have thought I was crazy around me.
It's artificial intelligence.
I was like crying. I'm like, oh my God, this is priceless. I wish it was recorded.
You could literally sit there and have conversations with your phone all day.
Yes, literally, if you're that fucking crazy.
If you have that much of a terrible life, that's where you're at.
So before we get into the police thing, right, I was like, you brought up a good like, how I started working out, right? My neighbor, he was a Providence fireman, all right, and he had a family, and he lived near me, and I looked up to him, and he loved, he thought highly of me as well.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and I go, I had my father buy me weights and stuff, the plastic weights.
With the sand in the middle? That's what I used to have.
Right? So my father, I said, Bardi, can you teach me how to work out? He goes, I'm going to teach you how to work out. He goes, I'm going to teach you how to work out as a power lifter. He said, and you got to be strict. So I learned right from the beginning, strict form, strict everything. Like, so I never was that sloppy. My back, to this day, never comes off the bench. Or my ass, my ass never comes off the bench. You know, certain exercises, I am like so strict.
That's good.
But it's just taught.
Yeah.
So memory. So I learned initially how to lift as a power lifter. And so
you got a good base doing that too.
Yeah. And so I did it with my Johnny Gliozzi, Jackie Ritchie, John Ritchie, my cousin Ronnie Caniglia. We all trained together. We all we were a group. We did in my basement, right?
The camaraderie is awesome.
And we always worked out and stuff. It was like. It was a great beginning of working out, man, because it's great memories in my parents' garage.
That's what I did.
You know, in my garage.
1996.
My dad cleared everything out for me and made it my room. You know?
My parents had a 2-car garage in 96. I took my graduation money and they let me turn one half of the garage into a gym.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, my dad literally let me hang a heavy bag off the ceiling, but it would shake upstairs.
I got one in the garage right now. Brianna hates when I hit it because it shakes the kitchen table.
I literally kicked it one time where it went up and came down and ripped right out of the ceiling. I go, okay, I think we're done with that.
We're good.
Oh, another time I'm squatting and I got a fucking body mirror. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a body mirror here and I'm over here and I'm watching myself and all of a sudden
You went right over.
I went over. Because look at the ego, you're watching this. The bar rolls off, smashes the mirror.
Oh.
My mom's like, what's going on down there? Nothing, Ma.
I'm fine.
The way he broke the mirror, I'll clean it up. Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. But
I miss that though, like because everything is so new. The results come so quick. It takes a while for them to stop. Like the excitement's just. I miss it. And that's why I built the gym downstairs. We canceled. I think we talked about this last time. I canceled my gym membership. Yeah. I'm having a ball just lifting in my basement. I just bought a
You got the necessary things. You know how to train yourself.
Oh God, yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
COVID has me. You know what's funny? So you said you float between 210 and
200 and 210 now.
I was 213 last weekend, Lou. COVID is. I was
5'10". So
I think I'm 5'7".
So, but I mean, but when I'm right around 200, well, like I like to be like, it's weird. I don't know why it's a weird number. It's like 197, 200.
Psychologically, I think you just feel better.
Just under the 200. Yes. Exactly.
But when you were growing up, how bad did you just want to weigh 200 pounds?
Oh, 200 pounds. And then when I was powerlifting, me and my partner, Jesse Amarello from Icon Boxing, it was called Ultimate Fitness at the time. He was like, you got to get to 250. You got to get to 250.
250. God, you wouldn't be able to breathe.
I'm so glad I did it, but I was trying. I was eating everything and lifting weights, eating fucking plates.
I want to talk about that next. We'll go into eating next. Yeah.
Eating fucking plates, and like, dude, we were doing pin pulls one time, right? I don't know if did I tell you this story?
No, I don't think so.
We were doing pin pulls.
I love weightlifting stories though.
And those who don't know what pin pulls are, like, it's deadlifting off pins. So it's just below your knees, the weight, and you're ripping it up, and it just trains you to stand and lock back.
You call them, some people know them as rack pulls.
Rack pulls.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're doing it, and I was just at a point in my life where I was like, fuck.
Because you can use more weight. That's an exhausting exercise.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we threw 645s on each side, right? Well, I know I talked about this. I take a lot of pride in my hand grip and strength, and I never used wraps. Right?
Really?
Never used wraps.
I have to. My hands are big, but they're small.
Yeah, never used wraps.
I have to have other people masturbate me. They're so small. It's a real thing. It's a problem.
Hey, fucking clown. I come up and I lost my grip.
Ooh.
With my right hand, but it only dropped back into the rack, you know. But like my buddy's recording it, and it shook. Everything shook, right? And even he did, because he was worried about me, and so it looked like the camera. It looked like the camera shook and stuff. And
so, for those who don't know, 645s on each side, and the bar is 585 pounds.
Yes.
That's significant.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking weight to just drop.
It was so it wrapped, and so usually sometimes after something like that, psychologically you're done.
No, you got to prove a point now.
And now I'm like. He goes, what are you going to do? I go, no, I stepped right back up to the body.
I gotta do it.
You're going to do it? I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I fucking ripped it. Now I was pissed.
Well, sometimes you need that little bit of embarrassment to put you over the edge. Yeah.
I keep begging him to find that video. He said he has it somewhere, man. I wish, if I ever find it, I'm going to give it to you, man. It's like, that's a priceless video.
How frustrating is it trying to put weight on? And I think that's where a lot of people, and again, I worked in supplements for like 14 years. Nobody was ever eating enough food. Everybody wanted to get big but lean at the same time. And
I gave up on getting lean.
Yeah, it just...
I gave up on getting... Not that I was fat. But I was big. I was like, my neck... If you look at old pictures of me, I had no neck.
Louie, I remember specifically.
I had no neck. I had like fucking you just wanted to be as big as you can be.
Because the bigger you got, like for me, like I'm not a big guy. I'm a big guy, but I'm short. So in no regard ever am I really an imposing looking figure, but you want to be. And then you notice you start to get that little bit of attention, and then people start to look at you a little bit differently, and it's like a drug. It's like this psychological addiction. You just want more and more. Your numbers go up. You want to keep doing more and more.
Look, I mean...
At least for me, anyway. So I don't want to speak for anyone else.
I 100% agree with you. I 100%. And then I was a cop at the time, and so I was still undercover. But when I did get back to uniform, I was still big, and it was like, when it's summertime, I literally would have my shirts tailored to make sure my arms looked.
Yes.
Even though I didn't need to.
Yeah, but it's still.
I needed to, because psychologically. There was that intimidation factor.
Well, we are our own worst enemies, weightlifters.
Oh my God.
We truly are.
That intimidation factor as a police officer in uniform.
Oh yeah.
Fucking huge. People gave you that
get
little extra respect.
Immediately get respect.
And
we talked about this when I worked at the Providence Center, when I was working with the homeless population, homeless veterans. I was business casual, short sleeve button down shirts in the summertime. Everybody thought I was a cop. I just have that demeanor, that scowl, like the way I present myself. Yeah. Everybody thought I was an undercover cop. I'm like, if only you knew. If only you knew.
If only you knew. But
the food part was always
It was tough.
So I'll do this. I'll let you tell me what were your go-to meals when you were trying to bulk up, and then I'll give you mine.
Me was, as much chicken as possible, friggin', or even steak. I loved steak. I still love steak.
I love a good steak.
A sweet potato, or brown rice.
So you ate clean trying to bulk up?
Yes, I did. I did.
All right.
I didn't but then Sundays rolled around, and Sundays were always my cheat day.
I had a cheat day, not a meal. I had a whole day to just relax.
Exactly.
And then by the end of the day, I felt so disgusted with myself. I couldn't wait for Monday to roll around to
get. You go to the bathroom, it was like came out of you.
Yeah.
It was like, because your body's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I go to the bathroom, I felt like I belonged at Roger Williams Park. Like I shouldn't even be in a human bathroom right now. So listen,
fucking elephant cage.
So, do you remember the old boxes of Mega Mass 4000?
Yes.
Okay, so listen. So when I was 15, all right, I was very skinny growing up. So I wanted to put weight on like everybody else. So this is a fact. This is what I did for a Wakey every night. Now, if anyone remembers, the scoopers inside Mega Mass 4000 were probably the size of a coffee mug because there was so much shit and fillers inside there.
You thought it was the best thing in the world.
I saw that. I saw Lee Haney and all these guys holding the boxes. So I would do a full serving in a blender. So it was like 2 massive scoops. So you're getting 4,000 calories because I would mix it with whole milk. And that's where you got to like 3,978 calories, whatever it was. But I would add 2 raw eggs. I was a huge raw egg guy. A scoop of ice cream, a half a sleeve of Oreos, a Cool Whip, and a half a banana. I would do that every single night, and I would go to bed right afterwards. I put 14 pounds on in like 8 weeks. When I tell you, I was 15 years old. When I tell you biblical bowel movements, like the stuff of legends, like if Paul Bunyan could take a dump and we could see it, that's what I had. But it worked. Yeah. Then another thing I would do is I would get 4 packets of ramen noodle soup. My mother I used to go through these like crazy. I would take 4 packets of ramen. I would only put 1 packet of the seasoning stuff.
Yeah, that's all.
I would boil it up like pasta. I would throw 6 eggs in there so the noodles and everything would cook. So it was like having eggs and pasta. I would drain all of the juice out, and then I would put Parmesan cheese on top. Do you know who I found out does that? People in prison. I was eating like an inmate.
So you were practicing.
I was getting ready. I was ready for 22 years old. I didn't go to prison when I was 22. And then, hey, this kid looks like he knows how to eat in prison. But those were my go-to meals. Ramen and those Mega Mass 4000. But they worked.
It did. It was it was all about the protein drinks.
Oh, yeah.
It was literally my ex, she goes, you eat the same thing every day.
Yeah.
She goes, you drink the same thing every night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a huge protein drink before I went to bed.
Same thing.
My protein drink, I'd throw, like 2 scoops because I was big.
Yep.
You had to take the equivalent to your body.
I like to get at least 1 gram per pound is what I try to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And then I would take 2 tablespoons of peanut butter.
Yep.
And then at the time almond milk didn't exist, so I wasn't using that. Most of the time I love almond milk. Yeah. Most of the time I would just use water as the water. I mean, as the
like something to mix it with.
Liquid.
Yeah.
But other than that, then I just throw shit in, and that was my night drink.
Yeah.
But that was a good night drink.
It's perfect.
Good night drink because then your body's burning proper proteins and calories and stuff like that.
Here's what you were doing right, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. So you're doing protein and healthy fats before bed. What a lot of people used to mess up is I don't have carbs. Like tonight before I go to bed, I'll do 8 egg whites and 2 whole eggs with like a cup of green beans or something like that. Yeah. So you get protein around 30 grams, 35 grams of protein, and then the healthy fats from the egg yolks. Everybody stays away from egg yolks.
Oh, I love the egg yolks. I used to stay away from them too. Back in the day I did, but not anymore.
But you know what? Here's what
they're not bad. They're not bad.
No, they're not. They're the best part of the egg. So here's how I rationalize how egg yolks got a bad reputation. Because think about what like your parents or my parents' generation did. They would have a couple of eggs over easy with breakfast, white bread with butter, bacon, sausage, coffee, and cream and sugar. Yep. And they blame the fucking egg yolks.
And they blame the egg yolks, exactly.
That's my
theory. White fucking bread, it was the butter, it was the cream in the fucking coffee.
That's my theory about that generation, how egg yolks got a bad rap. No, but that's perfect. So like anything before I do bed is no carbs. It's all high protein and high fats. It's perfect.
So, a good friend of mine, John Barker, he used to be a Newport cop. Now he's a South Kingston cop. He retired from Newport, went to South Kingston, but he did a couple of bodybuilding competitions.
Really?
And he worked with me at DEA. Right? And he's a monster. He's like fucking 6'5". He's a fucking gorilla. He was a gorilla.
I don't remember a big guy that day. Aside from you.
He was smart. I actually used to grapple with him.
Really?
Right? And he'd be like, I'm like, once he'd weigh me down, right? And then he just fucking goes, now I'm gonna do the blob.
And just lay
fucking leg on top of me. I'm like, get the fuck off me, you fat fuck. Right?
Did you ever cross paths with an East Greenwich cop, Scott Brown, I think was his name, big scar down his face? Powerlifter guy. He was a natural powerlifter. I think he was natural.
If I seen him.
I don't know if you guys, he was big, like 6'3", 6'4", but he had a big scar down the side of his face. I don't know, because you
remember that, yeah.
Yeah, well, we worked out at the Powerhouse Gym in Coventry, but I don't know if you guys ever crossed paths at a meet or something like that.
No, but John, he was a fucking monster. Me and him used to train, and then he started doing the bodybuilding competitions, and he fucking shredded up, and I used to go watch him.
Yeah, it's impressive.
He came, and he put all that fucking tanning shit.
Oh, yeah, they look like a different person.
He had striking, fucking green blue eyes, right? So it was like, you're fucking looking at me, you're fucking, stay the fuck away from me, dude, right? So, the second time he did, I'm like, all right, I said, you know what? I started, when he was training, I trained with him, because he used to lift heavy with him, and then...
So you trained, but not...
I trained as though I was going to compete in a bodybuilding competition.
All right, just to break it up,
right?
yeah.
Well, when I kept it from my wife at the time, and finally I'm like, I go, look, all right, I gotta start eating really clean. I said, I'm going to do a bodybuilding competition. She goes, what? She goes, you're married and you have kids. What married man with kids does something like that?
A lot.
I go, what are you talking about? Oh my God, we almost got divorced over it at the time.
Oh God.
You know? So it was like, I didn't end up doing it, right?
But you prepared for it.
I prepared for it.
Tell everyone what you have. Hold it up to the camera. Show everyone what you got.
All right, so we're gonna get this. This book right here is 26 years of my life on the Providence Police Department. And everything from police work to, I'm a Cowboys fan, and so there's Cowboys stuff in here, and there's some bodybuilding type stuff and powerlifting stuff in here as well.
We're gonna go over a lot of it.
And it's just like, you know, it's a huge part. I actually just recently cleaned it up, and so you know, and
I'm glad you brought that. That's really cool.
I did, but we're talking about that body. This is my buddy. He won this trophy, and I was and at the show.
Okay, you go hold it up to the camera over there. Oh, actually, the one over there is closer to you.
Yeah, whoops, something dropped out. And I was.
They'll figure it out.
And so I was like fucking trim. I was shredded. I was like, I was feeling great.
When you dropped down to that kind of weight, though, how did you feel?
I felt good. I felt, it's like, because I was like at the point in my life where I was. Oh, sorry.
As you can see, nothing is scripted here in the Bardi Shop.
So I was at a point in my life where like I need to do something different with my life, but it still wasn't. Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
There's a patch in there. That's what it is.
I just changed up my training a little bit, but that wasn't the breaking point of my great changing my life. It wasn't until the Amazing Race where I really changed my life.
Yeah.
But that helped a little bit back then.
Listen, when you have somebody around you like that, because you had powerlifters and guys who do it, it's cool to see both ends of the spectrum because they are two very different styles of training, types of eating. It's cool to kind of see both. But then when you get to the Amazing Race, that's something that tests your psychological, physical endurance. Like, so you truly will find out what your weak points are.
Oh my God, I totally did. I mean, like I told you before, like last time, and told your viewers, it's like I was mentally and physically drained at times. Mentally. Like,
he even peed on the side of a temple.
I peed on the side of a temple. And Mike fucking still busts my balls to this day about that.
How about when you watch that video, I found that penis hat you had on. I went digging and digging and digging to find that picture.
So what Steve is talking about is when we were in France.
I could put it back in this show if you want.
We did a tour. We did a one leg of a Tour de France on the Amazing Race. All right, so it's a 4-mile run, bike run, and we literally rode an authentic bike
you
from
did.
back in the day. It wore the authentic.
You look like Super Mario.
I totally did.
But dude, it's fucking awesome. Who gets to do these things?
Nobody, man.
It's awesome. The places that you saw, the people that you met. That's amazing. It truly is amazing. It's awesome.
Truly, for lack of, I always say this.
Yeah.
People go, "How was Amazing Race?" I go, for lack of a better word,
It was amazing. Yeah.
It was amazing. You know, and like I mean, still to this day, I still keep in touch with certain another director just called me recently.
No kidding.
Yeah, in regards to this Food Paradise show that's on the Food Network.
Food Paradise?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I've watched that. Hold on a minute. Food Paradise. My Brianna loves food shows. She'll know what it is.
He asked me, Louie, can you connect me with some restaurants in Rhode Island? You know, and so I gave him my top 3, you know, and I broke it down for him.
What'd you give him? Oh, you can't say.
Well, I can say.
All right.
I don't give a shit. Like, my top one is Von de Cucina. All right?
Von de Cucina?
Von de Cucina, it's in Apponaug. Okay?
Really?
Yes. Dino Passeretta. Food is through the roof amazing.
Right over here in Apponaug?
Right here in Apponaug. Right next to the Captain's Catch.
No shit.
Bro, you never been?
No, I've never heard of it.
We're going.
I was just gonna say, because we're gonna do. We gotta do it. Yeah, we gotta do a double date anyway.
Absolutely. Oh my God, bro, to die for.
Really?
The food is that amazing.
You ever had Cafe Andiamo in Johnston?
Of course.
That's a good little spot.
Yes, of course, man. That was old school though.
I know.
Man. That was
I know.
old school. You know who?
Place is the size of this office.
You know who used to always be in there? It was Chief Tamburini and Chief Divine.
Really?
With their wives. Always used to go there back in the day.
The food is phenomenal. All right, so we got what's the name of the first place?
So the first place was Von de Cucina.
Okay.
Okay. And my buddy Dino Passeretta was there. And then my second favorite, believe it or not, is the Treehouse Tavern.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Now you got see Treehouse Tavern. You have several things there, man. The food is amazing. The chef there is amazing.
The environment.
Right? The environment. The atmosphere. Right? It's just always top notch. The presentation of food is amazing.
Every single time. I've never had a bad meal there.
Yep.
It's so beautiful in there.
My third choice. Look, I really dug because there's so many amazing.
We have a lot of good food here.
We really do. But I threw in there Plant City because
Plant City.
Yes. It's
like a vegetarian place?
It's a vegetarian. No, it's not vegetarian. It's a
vegan place?
Vegan restaurant.
Well, it's good to get something at the other end of the you know what I mean? Yeah.
The food is amazing. The presentation, the atmosphere. There's like 4 different restaurants in one big restaurant.
Really?
There's Italian. There's Mexican. There's a burger place. There's a bowl.
Where is it?
It's right in downtown Providence near the bridge. That new bridge. That walk
yeah.
Bridge. It's right there.
See, we don't because Brianna cooks so good. We never go out to dinner anymore. Okay. Rarely do we go out.
Awesome, but I love to cook myself.
I know.
So I think that's the reason. His name's Evan Weinstein, who reached out to me, and I think he does. I know he follows me on social media, and I know he looks at my storyline because every once in a while I see,
yeah.
See, and he knows I love to cook, and he knows I go out to restaurants.
Oh, that's cool. Good.
So he saw it. He goes, he knows what the fuck's going on in Rhode Island. And I don't think they had anything in Rhode Island as far as restaurants to go off of.
No, and there's so much good food here.
The food is ridiculous here.
It's really sad because I think we talked about this last time. Rhode Island has a poor reputation for several reasons, but it's a beautiful state. It's just poorly run. There's a lot of good food here, a lot of good culture here. The beaches, ridiculous. Newport, you have hiking, you have the woods. There's a lot of history here. You get this haunted, my sister bought me a book for Christmas called Haunted Rhode Island.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's good, yeah.
So I want to get the guy who wrote the book to come on the show. But yeah, just like there's so much here. But when you live here, and you know this, you get hung up on the negative side of things. But there's a lot. It's a beautiful state.
All right, let me ask
it gives you everything.
Let me ask you something. Providence, Rhode Island. Okay. Where do you think that one of the top hiking trails are in Providence, Rhode Island? Do you even know?
What, on the east side, East Providence over there in Bristol?
Providence, Rhode Island. Where do you think the best hiking trails are?
In Providence?
In Providence, Rhode Island.
I have no clue.
Uniconnet Hill.
Really?
you know where Uniconica Hill is?
I do, but I don't know you can hike over there. To my defense, I never go over there, but I know what you're talking about.
It's near the Johnston line, right? But it's amazing. It's literally you got trails up there, and what happened was I think they took Brown students and stuff, and they just dredged areas and cleaned up areas and made these paths and made signs like which way to go if you want to go this way or that way. Like I've used it as running paths.
Really? We'll have to go.
It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like one of the top.
We went hiking like 2 weekends ago in Smithfield.
Smithfield has some of those hiking areas.
My sister's boyfriend found some trails off the beaten path.
I think there's an app for trails.
Really?
Yes, there's an app. You go on it. If you're in Rhode Island, you go to like.
I've spent way too much time down the rabbit hole of politics lately. I need to broaden my horizons. So listen. So here's what we need to do. We need to get the girls together. We need to go hiking.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Double back.
I love that too, yeah.
Do that earlier in the day.
Yeah.
We'll each go to our respective places. You and I will shower. We'll let the girls shower together, and then we'll go out to dinner that night.
I throw one of the cameras in the shower.
Of course.
But they gotta know about it because we can't do that. That's illegal if they don't know about it.
No, my wife's a freak. I'll tell her ahead of time. She's perfect for entrapment. I'll get her. Don't worry about it. We'll have a blast that day.
I'll film my girlfriend and we'll see what she says.
Just send her pictures. Everybody loves Brianna. No, but so I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed in Uniconica Hill.
Great idea to go. Let's go. We can go trail walking up on Uniconica Hill. I'll show you because I grew up there.
Oh, I'd love to.
I grew up there as a kid, and so there's like the paths back there are just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and
it's one of the highest points in Providence.
So you can see over.
You see downtown Providence.
Really?
It's absolutely gorgeous.
See, do you prefer to see? I like to hike when it's cold outside.
Yes, I do too. And reason being is, I'd rather work outside in the hot weather. Mm-hmm. But as far as hiking, I agree with you because for safety, like ticks and all that bullshit.
That's another thing, correct?
That garbage.
There's no concern.
And you don't have to worry about poison ivies as much, and you don't have to worry about ticks and stuff like that. And you can just enjoy the view and clear your lungs. And clear your lungs.
The other thing too is the summers here are very humid. Breathing is a pain in the ass. We're not small guys. I don't know about you. I breathe better when it's cold outside.
Me too.
Everything just is. So for me, I just feel better when it's cold outside. Yeah. I just enjoy it more. We'll have to do that. I'd love to check that out. Absolutely. You could probably get some beautiful pictures there too, huh?
Oh my God, absolutely gorgeous pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Definitely. So I brought you this book, right? And there's so much in it. There's pictures from me with me and my dad. Me during my police academy. There was Dominic Baldessari. He was a. All right, so this picture right here. You guys can't see it, but that was every girl in my police academy.
I was gonna say it's Louie and 6 women.
And I took this picture. I actually just sent it to them recently.
No shit.
All of them, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's so fucking awesome." They didn't know about it.
And this is from '87.
From '87.
My God, man. Hey, speaking of '80s, just what's your favorite decade and why?
It's up in the air between '80s and '90s.
See,
music wise,
80s. See, well, it depends on what your genre is.
I'm a rock person.
Like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, stuff like that. Okay, all right.
God, I loved that music.
See, I don't know what I like more. Like, I was a kid in the 80s. Being a kid in the 80s, because you have 16 years on me, right? So, me growing up, like I was in 88, I was 10 years old. It was an awesome fucking decade. Cartoons were awesome. Like, everything was just different.
Yeah.
But the 90s rolled around. I think the 90s is debatable, has better music than the 80s. Television changed. Sports were fantastic in the 90s. You had the Bulls dynasty, the Cowboys dynasty.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's a toss-up between the 80s and 90s, absolutely.
Also, in the 80s, you had the Celtics.
Oh, my God. The Celtics.
I knew every player on the Celtics. I can't tell you shit about fucking basketball anymore.
No, I don't know who anybody is.
I can't tell you anything. I don't care. I don't care to know.
Nope. What I can tell you about basketball nowadays, not one of these teams would win a quarter, let alone a game, against the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys.
No.
Oh, they were so fun to watch.
They were fun to watch, and Celtics was so much fun. The Celtics Lakers matchup was bar none.
Did you watch the 30 for 30 on that?
I don't think I did.
They did a 30 for 30 on the Celtics Lakers. Yeah, it was good. It was really. They did one of the Pistons.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not a fan of ESPN, but those 30 for 30s are phenomenal. Parcells. They did one on Parcells at the tail end of his career, all about when we was with the Cowboys. That's a good one. You would like that.
What do you think about him not taking me that?
Belichick?
Belichick's the Belichick award. I'm just curious. We don't have to talk about it.
No. I'm trying to think because
I'm just curious.
Because my answer involves a friend. All right, so I'll put it this way. So I don't know if it was political posturing because I have a friend who recently reached out to me, and for anyone who grew up with me knows who this guy is. I don't want to say his name for whatever reason, but I have a friend who works on the sidelines for the New England Patriots. He's been all the Super Bowls. And he recently reached out to me on Facebook. We were just shooting the shit a little bit. So I know that Belichick and Kraft and Trump, and you kind of see it from the past, they have a very close personal relationship. I don't understand why he came out and said anything at all. I don't get it. I don't see the harm. I get why he wants to duck it because there's just
that'd be too much.
The political backlash and everything's politicized now. So I get that. But on the flip side of that, I think he's going to take it, just not make a spectacle of it because Belichick's not one of those guys.
No, he's not.
He's absolutely not. But
I'm shocked he did fucking Dunkin' Donut commercials, but anyway.
That blew me away, number one. Number two, I'm shocked he even made a statement about this.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind. I have no idea. That's not like him. But since we're on that topic, since we're on, the Patriots.
Yes.
I know this was a transitioning year.
Yeah.
Let's have the discussion.
Okay.
Should they have kept Brady?
I'm not, all right. Being a Cowboys fan,
you could care less.
I can care less. But that being said, and I always got backlash for this, but I do, and I always was a Patriots fan in the AFC. Okay, I always was. Okay, being from New England, So that being said, they should have fucking kept him. Yeah, and here's the thing, like, I mean, do you know that Dak Prescott, right, threw more fucking passes than Cam Newton?
Oh, yeah. In the amount of time that he played?
In the 5 games he played.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
I mean, come on. I mean, you're a fucking showboat and you're a fucking pimp. To me, you're a pimp. I hate the guy. I don't like Cam Newton. No respect for Cam Newton. He's a run. Oh, wait. So you can run with the fucking ball.
He's athletic, but guys like that don't last in the league.
No.
Look at who's the quarterback for the Ravens this year? Jackson, Lamar Jackson. Yeah. The league figured him out. This happens to all these mobile quarterbacks. The only mobile quarterback who had a good career and then unfortunately killed himself was Steve McNair from the Tennessee Titans. He was fun to watch. So here's my theory on Tom Brady. First of all, I thought it would be interesting to see him play on another team. Watching him play under such terrible coaches is painful. Yeah. It's painful. Bruce Arians is a boob. Byron Leftwich should be washing jock straps in the Canadian League. He was a bullshit quarterback when he played in the league. It's grotesque to watch him and Gronk go down there and do this little money grab thing. They're not going to win the league. They don't have the coaching. Now, if you took that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team and all you did was just bring Bill Belichick over, keep Byron Leftwich and just bring Belichick there.
Oh my God.
They're sloppy, penalties, bullshit. It's a grotesque thing to watch. And I just wanted Brady to retire a Patriot.
Yeah, and one of my best friends. I don't know if you know Joe Montori, but he was out with me the other night, and he's like, and I guess the Tampa Bay game was on, and he's like, hope they fucking lose. We're like, well, I can't fucking stand Brady, that fucking traitor, him and Gronk, that traitor, like. That's a lot of New England is that way.
Well, and listen, I get it. You look at last year when Brady was still here, they had nobody to throw the ball to. The offense looked lost. So I understand. I also understand you got $50 million with no income tax down in Tampa. God bless you. Good for you. It's weird. It's just very weird. Now, my story, I came to be a Patriots fan. My whole family's from New York. We've had season tickets for the Giants for years in my family. My aunt
and I got your enemies.
Correct. we should be enemies.
Right.
So I grew up a Giants fan. Like when they beat the Broncos, when they beat the Bills in 1990. Like I grew up with the Big Blue Wrecking Crew. My uncle used to take me and my brother to the preseason game every year against New England in the Meadowlands. I started rooting for New England when Parcells came over. That's how I became a Patriot.
Parcells was a great guy.
I loved watching him coach.
I loved him.
But he's the reason I started rooting for New England, because he was a transplant from the Giants. So then whenever the two Super Bowls popped up with the Patriots versus the Giants ended their perfect season. Like, I was upset, but I was happy because my heart's always going to be with New York. So, yeah, I don't know.
Parcells didn't last in Dallas either, because he just wouldn't listen to fucking Jerry Jones either.
I think Jerry Jones is a big problem for your organization.
Jerry Jones is a big problem at times. I mean, I don't know, day late, dollar short, but I mean, he's finally realizing,
He should just
shut your fucking mouth. And
let coaches and managers coach and manage. He's got his own weekly talk show down there, I think.
But he's very. He's got hand. People that have met him, that are friends of mine, said he is the most appreciative guy.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's like, people would say, "Oh, we're from Rhode Island." They're like, "You're from Rhode Island. You're not a New England fan." And you're like, "No, I'm coming." And he's very appreciative and shit like that.
I did a show a little bit before you with Jordan Kohler. I broke it up. It was like 4 hours. I broke it up into 2 shows, but he's a diehard Cowboys fan too. He was actually the youngest collegiate defensive coordinator in the United States. This kid, Jordan Kohler. He was the youngest college defensive coordinator in the United States.
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, and I had him on my show. Ugly bastard. But I mean, he was good conversation
Not
anyway.
everybody can be good looking like us, bro.
No, I noticed we both got a nice clean shave.
That good look, that fucking, I got the scruff, But
See, you have the perfectly shaped head for a beard, because you can keep it trim here and give it the nice point. I look like Garfield. I have a fat round head. It's like a milk dud. So when I grow a beard, I look like Captain Lou Albano when I grow a beard.
All right, I'm going to tell you my story, and then I want to hear yours. Okay. I love Captain Lou Albano.
Fucking love him.
I'm getting the last. Give me the last.
Remember he had the PS cheek with the rubber band with the rubber bands.
The rubber bands in the fucking the elastic bands on the beard. Love Lou Albano. So I used to go to this guy. Get my hair cut by this guy Eddie on Smith Street in North Providence. And Mike Naylor, my buddy who I did the meeting, he used to eat that. He introduced me to him, right? Because the guy I used to go to, he ended up moving back to Syria.
No shit.
Yeah, but he was my best friend. Man, I loved that guy. He used to cut my hair and cut it fucking. Yeah, he had my.
It's hard to find the barber that gives you exactly.
When you find a good guy, you don't stop.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. So I was going to Eddie, and I go, Eddie, you know what? I said, look, I was thin right here, but I don't have the bald spot. I still don't have the bald spot.
No, I got the widow's peak.
Yeah, it was thin right here, and everywhere else was fine. And it was just it wasn't looking good. And if you look at my pictures, a lot of my old pictures.
You had a beautiful head of hair.
People say, but no, the pictures like when I started getting thin, right? People are like, you look younger now than you did with here.
Oh yeah.
In that the fucking porn stash. Right? So I'm like, so I said to my Eddie, somebody said I should shave my head. What do you think? So he took his hand and put it on my head, right? And he goes, yeah, you got a good head. You got a head like a basketball. You got a good head. He goes, do it. I go, all right, shave it. And he goes, because if you don't like it, it'll just grow back.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, right. And I go, all right. I never grew back. I've cut my head back in the beginning.
Yeah.
I literally went out and bought that fucking, like, you heard that little thing where it's like, it looks like a little car and with blades on it and you hold it in your fingers like that.
Oh, the Norelco thing.
Yeah. It wasn't electric. It was.
I have an electric thing that I used the first time I shaved my head.
No, this was like a blade, like it looked like a little fucking car.
Oh, the little triangle.
Like 3 thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, dude. I cut my head. So I don't know where is it. Can you see the scar?
We bleed. Oh, I see one over there.
Yeah. I fucking bled like I was fucking. I was a prisoner in Iran. Like or Iraq, wherever the fuck it was. Like fucking blood was down my face.
No shit.
I actually took a picture. I wish I saved it because it was.
Well, it's so thin. You bleed so quick up here.
The capillaries are so close to the skin. Exactly. So it's like So from that, I threw that out, and I just use a regular fucking Gillette 5 fucking blade, fucking, and I bang my head out I shave my head almost every day.
I do mine every other. Well, during the week because I'm not going to my office.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just fucking around the house, like for the most part, we don't really leave the house to go shopping. I don't enjoy being out in public, so I'm fine staying home. I'll shave my head like every other day right now, but I used to do it every single day.
Yeah.
But when you first start shaving your head, like which do you go against the grain?
Yes, I shave. There we go. I shave like this, right? And I got this other hand
Feeling it for the
other
in
hand's
case you miss.
feeling, and this one's going right. And then there's this spot right here, right?
Oh, a little.
Right where your cowlick is. I
Oh
guess.
no, that's where I have a mole.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, how often do you cut that?
You want to know the truth? I cut this thing the first time I shaved my head. I think I nicked the layer off.
Yeah.
So my father's like, go get that looked at, because my father had a couple of precancerous moles. So I went to my dad. He's like, that is the healthiest kind of mole you can have.
Okay.
He goes, but if you cut it out, you're gonna have a divot in your head.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'll just tell people it's a horn. It's fine. I'm growing a horn. My milk dud. That's what my wife calls it.
So there's one spot right here where I gotta go like one angle, this angle, that angle, that angle, until it's, because to me, my OCD, until that area is smooth, I can't.
I want to feel nothing.
I want to feel nothing.
Yep.
Exactly. I get in the shower after I'm done shaving. I shave my head in the sink, and then I get in the shower and I shower. And if I'm lathering up, but if I feel something, I'm immediately with the fucking blade. I'm like.
So
I'm so bad like that. It's so stupid.
No, but listen, see, I don't think it's OCD. I think it's just
it's OCD.
We have these little tics, like things that it's a preference.
Tourette's. I have Tourette's.
Tourette's. You have listen, it can't be worse than having Asperger's. You couldn't come up with a better name than Asperger's. It sounds like an overweight black girl's burger joint. Asperger's.
I took a sip.
I timed it perfectly. So I'll shower first because I need, my hair is thick.
Yeah.
Like it's like fucking horse pubes. It's brutal. So I'll take a brutally hot shower.
So soften it up.
Yeah. Get out of the shower. Now I use Cremo.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so I
love Cremo.
I put Cremo on everything,
yeah.
But then what I found gives me like an even better shave. I get the old school can of Barbasol. I do a little one layer of Cremo and then a light layer of Barbasol shaving cream, and then my face I can't go up, like I can't go against the grain over here. I get brutal razor burn, but I go against the grain and then I go up on the back of my head.
All right, so the girl who trims my beard, Vanessa, she's amazing. She's on that What Having in Johnston. Anybody can hit me up.
What's her last name? Vanessa what?
Gonzalez.
Okay.
Vanessa Gonzalez.
Shout out.
Here by Vivi on Instagram. She took like there was a couple times I was getting like you said, the razor burn and stuff.
I'd love to get a better shave done.
I said, she goes, when you're done shaving, take like one of the puffs.
A loofah.
A loofah.
Yeah.
She goes, rub really hard. It clears up the area. It opens it up.
Really?
Yeah, and it works.
No shit.
I found it works. Especially, all right, so here we're going to get TMI for a second, okay? Can we get TMI?
Are we talking about shaving your cannoli?
I am.
Okay, good.
I'm talking about shaving the cannoli.
I shave mine too.
Not everybody knows how to shave the cannoli. I use a fucking my Gillette.
I use my Gillette. Sometimes I use my brother's to be a dick, but I'm not going to tell him that.
Okay, so...
Hey, how about a show where we shave each other's cannolis live?
I'm not going to shave your cannoli.
That'll be for my other YouTube channel.
So...
Thank God nobody's actually watching these.
No, nobody really watches this, right?
Thank God.
So when I shave down there, like especially above the part above my appendage,
Correct.
That area gets really fucking
really irritated.
So I take the loofah and I scrub really
Same thing,
good,
huh?
And it, boom. Like there was a point when I first started doing it, like it would break out.
Oh, it's razor burn. All ingrown hairs.
No. You just take that loofah, you scrape it up.
So here's what I do. It's a little bit different. I actually shave my lower extremity body hair in the shape of an arrow to remind my wife where it is. It's like directions.
Oh my God.
So I don't really have that problem.
So it seems we're here. We went there.
Listen. We started at the front door. Let's go to the back. How do you handle the back?
How do I handle the back?
I'll tell you my story.
I'm going to tell you mine too. Okay. And it's not that hard.
It's not.
It's not that. Well,
it's not.
It can get hard, but it's not that hard.
It can be tricky if your knees hurt.
Yeah.
If you're not, this is where the flexibility comes in.
My flexibility. I reach up and under.
Okay.
I go right side, left side.
Perfect.
Oh.
How annoying is it when it starts to grow back?
I don't let it get to grow back.
Oh, so
mine don't grow back. I don't.
Maybe that's where I'm messing up.
Literally, like every day or every other day, I do it. So it doesn't. I don't. No, because I did let it go back at one time, and if, it's fucking itchy as fuck.
Fucking hurts.
It's itchy as fuck, and you're like, what the fuck?
I just let it go. I let it go back after. I'm like, this isn't even worth it.
No.
Well, no,
because no, to me, it's all like working out muscle memory.
Yes.
Boom, boom.
You have a ritual now.
I go in, I know how to pull, I know which way to pull my joint and fucking scrape up, boom, 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 boom. I'm in and out.
And the women appreciate it.
Oh my God. Yes.
Nobody wants to go down there and feel like they're eating hay.
Dude, this is not the fucking 70s, 80s. Where
no.
You went down on your girl, and the next day you had to go to the dentist because you needed to get.
You came back with a mustache.
You needed to go get your fucking teeth trimmed.
Something right here, Doc. I don't really know.
This show went fucking.
This is the beauty of not having anything scripted.
People are like right now, I thought we were going to be talking about police stuff.
Well, to his defense, you could probably run a lot faster with less hair on your body. Certainly swim faster. Just ask dolphins. How many dolphins you see running around with pubes? You don't.
None.
And look how fast they swim.
In Florida, I didn't see one.
See, he knows firsthand. This guy knows.
I'm an expert.
Who taught him how to shave? Something fucking wrong with us.
Oh my God.
So, Brianna.
All right, so when somebody says to you, okay, I'm going to tell you my reply. I'd like to know yours. When somebody says to you, what's wrong with you? Okay.
Are
we good?
No, I'm checking.
I know you're checking the battery.
So we're at 1 hour already, and I still got half my batteries left. Check that out.
That's awesome.
Can you see that battery in the top right corner? It's like half white, half black. It's very politically correct. Yeah, it's yeah, it's still alright. Okay. We'll go for like another half hour before we take a break. Right. Well, at least change the batteries. So go ahead.
Where were we?
What's the matter? When somebody walks up to you and says, "What's the matter?"
Oh yeah. When somebody comes up to me and says, "What's the matter with you?"
What's your response?
I'm like, all right, so where do you want me to begin?
Yeah.
And how much time do you have?
Yeah. Are you in a rush?
Because I fucking there's a lot wrong with me. Well, but not wrong in a bad way. You know? It's not wrong in a bad way. I'm like, fucking, I don't think I'm a bad person. I'm not a bad person. I know I'm not a bad person. What I'm saying is, but I'm not perfect. Nobody's fucking, if you can say you're fucking perfect, there's something fucking seriously wrong.
Lewis, you know firsthand I'm not perfect. No. So let's...
And neither am I, brother. Neither am I.
You're not supposed to be. We're imperfect creatures.
I don't want to be perfect. I don't want to be that guy.
So here's a problem I have when people ask that question. I think they ask it almost like a platitude. Like if somebody passes away, I'll say a prayer. It's almost like this thing you say in passing. Right. But when somebody asks you what's wrong, and then if you actually have something to unload or something to say, or you want to, if they're not prepared for that. No, but that's what I mean. So that's a question you shouldn't ask unless you're genuinely concerned. Like I'll say this.
If I do ask it, I am genuinely concerned. That's who I am.
So we talked about...
You're the same way.
No, absolutely. So Bobby Nautilillo, we talked about him a little while ago. So I was, obviously you've seen, I've been on Facebook about 72 times a day for the past 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I must have missed somewhere in there because I'm not reading, I'm just posting stuff. Right. So Brianna says, oh, Bobby's got COVID. I immediately got on my phone. I went in the other room. I called him. I didn't think he was going to answer because the post he put up, he was having it pretty bad. I just said, do you need anything at all? No, I'm okay. Jackie just bought me some stuff. I go, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. If something's wrong, pick up the phone. I'm out the door. I don't say that as a platitude. And so like my friend Matt just had like a cancerous mole taken out. Actually, the guy who taught me how to do all this. I called him every single day for 3 days. What do you need? Are you okay? Can I drop you anything? I'm out running errands. You want some food? I do that because it's just in my nature.
What that is called, Steve, is called a sincere gesture. And what happens is people throw it out there way too fucking easy.
Yes.
And don't really mean it.
I'm going to tell you where it got. Not that it got, no, but you're exactly right. So actually it was right when COVID hit. The gyms hadn't closed yet, or they maybe have just closed. We're going back to like May or something of 2020. Very good friend of mine from the gym. He's telling me he's going to the old American Health and Fitness to look at some equipment. on a Saturday morning. I said, hey, you know what? If you come across something, you need help moving it, just let me know. I don't say shit unless I would do it.
Exactly.
I didn't expect him to call to move a 500-pound piece of equipment, and all the weights came off separately. It was an old school hammer strength machine. But I went, I helped him. We loaded up into the guy's truck. We brought it to his house in East Greenwich, unloaded it, boom, boom. Okay, fine. So Brianna's like, why do you do that to yourself all the time? I said, because what was he going to do? I said, if I didn't offer, nobody else was going to help him, then he couldn't have bought that piece of equipment. I said, maybe that exercise he's going to do or the working out maybe brings down his cholesterol, his blood pressure. So he said, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, just being a nice guy. I said, because I'm not one to ask for help. I will exhaust myself to the point of like no options before I ask for help, because I know I don't want to inconvenience people. I don't mind being inconvenienced. Yeah, me neither. I just don't. My mother's the same way.
I'm the same way, bro. I'm totally the same way. And I have a very close friend, Bruce Smith, who I've known forever, since my first marriage. And funny story how we met, but he is the type of guy who you can call. Like, I can call him at 2, like you said, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I'm like, Bruce, I need you right now, man. And something. He's so good with his hands fixing shit. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. He's a tech guy.
But it's good to have people like that.
It's just like, it's heartwarming to have a friend like that. Man.
It's not, it's rare. It's rare to have somebody like that.
So, I mean, when you have a friend like that, man, it's just like,
take care of them. They're few and far between. Yeah. Now, speaking of that, like they say when you're a kid, you're lucky if you have one true friend from your childhood last throughout your life.
That's bullshit.
See,
to me, that's bullshit. I got a story. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying, see, you grew up in a little bit. See, I think you grew up in a more genuine era. Like, I really do. I think guys from your generation, maybe a little bit of my generation, I think the world was just different. Like, there was more human contact then. I think now it's a different story. Now everything's digital. Everything's what we're doing right now. We're doing digital shit. So, it's weird, but I look at like a lot of my friends that I grew up with, and the ones who watch this show, you know who you are, you know I love you. But I've lost so many to drugs and alcohol. Yeah. Like, it's insane how many friends I've lost over the past 10, 15 years.
I've lost a lot of friends to suicide and not many drugs, but more suicide than drugs. And it is sad. Yeah. Fuck, man. This is like, you're like, why? I was always there for you. Why couldn't you just call me up? Mm-hmm. Why did you do that? Yeah. And it's like freaking tears apart like a lifetime of awesome memories and stuff, man. It's like,
how do we go from shaving our balls to this? Let's talk about the segue. What happened in the last 7.5 to 8 minutes?
I have no clue. How did we even get here?
I don't know. I'm not sure how we got this.
People are at home and like going, I want to know more about shaving my balls and my asshole.
So what kind of razors are these guys using? I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna change the batteries. Let's pause this for a second.